everyone, welcome to our channel. And if you are new to this channel, myself Vijay, your go-to expert for all your stuff related to the project management. And in this video, we are going to deep dive into the Indeed Project Timeline Management Assessment. So, if you're struggling with the Indeed assessment, then trust me, you're not alone. We have been there. Acing Indeed assessment is not an easy task, especially when you're not aware of the format and type of question asked. So in this video, we are going to deep dive into the type of the question asked and what is the specific strategy which you can follow to ace this assessment as well as achieve the highest mark. So first thing first, understanding the format of the test. Usually the two types of questions are asked. What is MCQ, which is multiple choice question, and then the scenario based question, which is basically related to the practical situation of the project. So in multiple choice question, you are basically asked in knowledge of the project management. It is basically the theoretical concept like definition or various other methodology which you are supposed to be known about the project management. When it's come to the scenario based question, in scenario based question you are asked more the practical aspects. Knowing the knowledge of project management is another thing, then applying those knowledge in practical life situation is different thing. And that's what this scenario based question do. They will test your knowledge, they will test your specific skill, how you apply those skills in a practical scenario. So let's take an example. Let's say your project is suddenly behind the schedule, and what will be your first step? So if you see on the screen, there are four options. One is reassessment of project timeline, another one is increased team hours, communication with stakeholder, and cut the non-essential tasks. At first glance, you may be jumping on the option A, which is simply says the reassess the project timeline. Well, in terms of theoretical, that may seems right, but when you imagine about the practical aspects or practical situation of project, you will be basically going for the communication with stakeholder, because that is the first thing you're supposed to do when your project is facing any issue. You don't jump into the... So once you clear about the format of the test, the next thing comes understanding the key topic which was frequently asked in this test, right? So there are certain aspects which you should be knowing in terms of the key topic which is frequently asked, because project management is a very vast subject, right? You cannot cover all those topics, all the subjects at one go. So understanding what are the important topic or what are the important area where those assessment tests are asked, it will be easier for you to prepare the exam and ace the exam with highest mark. So the first topic is your risk management. Trust me, project management is all about managing risk. It's about identifying those risks, assessing those risks, and developing the mitigation plan around to mitigate those risks. It's not, the good project manager is always avoiding those risks so that the impact of those risks are mitigated or nullified. So risk management is a key topic which you should be preparing if you want to excel the Indeed assessment test. Next topic is resource allocation. After the risk management, it's all about the allocating the resource over the project. Having a right resource at the right time in a right quantity can determine the success of your project. So it's very important to understand the concept of the risk allocation. There are the certain tools, certain softwares available in the various industry, and you should be aware so that you can answer those questions confidently. After the resource allocation, the next important topic is stakeholder management. Remember, project is all about managing various stakeholders. We have different type of stakeholders, they have the different expectation, and throughout the project from start to finish, you are supposed to manage the expectation of each stakeholders at various point of time. So it's very important to understand those topics. It's very important to understand the various tools and techniques which are utilized to manage the stakeholders efficiently so that you reach your project objective without any much problem. After stakeholder management, the next key topic is project scheduling. Arranging the activities of the project over a timeline is a key activity and key process step which every project manager should be aware of. It's very important for you to know which activity you're supposed to start when and when they are supposed to end. This is how you are going to identify which activities are late, which activities are on time. There are several tools and techniques available in the market. Also, there are certain theories and concepts in terms of the project management which is specifically related to project scheduling, and you should be aware of all those techniques. After the project scheduling, the next key topic is your quality control. It's very important to perform all the activity as per the standard guideline or criteria which is defined in the project as per your company as well as your client requirement. if you do any activity or deliver any of the objects or the deliverables which are not meeting the criteria, which is simply a failure of the project. So make sure you understand the concept of quality control, how to meet the specific objectives or specific objectives quality as per the defined line or defined scope of work. So once you understand the format of the test as well as a key topic which you should be focused on so that you can achieve high marks, now next thing is that how to prepare for the exam. And the obvious answer is that you should be referring to the various books and do the practice test. So once you understand the format of the test and the key focus area which is usually asked during those tests, next thing is that to prepare for the test. And now for the preparation of the test, you need to have the good books. There are plenty of project management books which are available in the market. Also, I have given some of the book links in the description. You can go through those books and prepare for yourself. Next thing after the books is that practice tests. Practice tests which basically consists of similar type of questions, also which will give you the simulation of real test so that you can prepare and do the lot of practice, and this will help you to ace your test easy. Also, I have provided the link to the bundle which basically consists of all the practice tests which is similar to the question which is asked in a previous Indies test, or they basically mimic the same question which help you to prepare well for the Indies assessment test. Also in this bundle you will find the 60% of the question either they are similar or they are based on the previously asked question in previous tests. So this will help you a lot. You should check it out. Link is given in the description below. So even after knowing about the format, the type of the question as well as a key question area, many times candidates fail to pass the Indies assessment test, and the key reason for this is managing the time during the test. So it's very important to simulate the practice test in a real-time scenario, and there are the few tips which will be helpful for you to prepare for this in a similar environment. This will help you to assess as well as ace the test during the real test. So here are the 5 tips to manage the time stress which you feel during the actual exam. Number 1, practice. Practice more and more questions which will help you and provide a lot of confidence while you're taking the real exam. Tip number 2, use the time practice test. So whenever you are practicing a test, make sure you have the timer is on so that will practice you in a real scenario. Tip number 3, create a realistic environment. So whenever you are taking tests, make sure it's like clean room where you are supposed to take the real exam in the same environment so that you don't feel different while you're taking the real exam. Tip number 4, regular practice. Before your actual exam, make sure you have practiced 3 to 4 times or even more so that you are much more confident when you are taking the real exam. Tip number 5, stress management technique. Even though you do a lot of practice, it's very difficult to avoid zero stress during the exam. So this technique like breathing, exercising or moving your body parts just before the test can help you a lot and reduce your stress level, and this will really help you while you're taking those tests. So with this knowledge and tips, I'm sure you're going to ace your exam with the highest mark. Until next time, stay prepared, stay focused, and let's ace this test together. Bye for now.